Now, let's talk about a very, very important technology. It's part of Kubernetes, and that is called Helm. Okay? Helm. Helm is known as, or we refer to it as, the Kubernetes package manager. Okay. If you have not installed Helm, I've already sent the installation video for that. So that shouldn't be a problem. Okay. Now, Helm is what most teams, I would say 8 in 10 teams, use Helm in production. The reason why they use Helm as opposed to Kubernetes manifest file is because Helm simplifies the entire process of managing the manifest files. Like because see, we have looked at very simple examples, right? An application, a full-fledged production application is what? It needs back end, front end, application layer, security layers. In other words, in order for it to go to production. So if we had to write those manifest files manually, it takes time forever. Yeah, of course. Thank you. In 2025, now we have AI, like Copilot, all of that. Makes sense. But Helm is very different because let's say, okay, I do what? I say Helm create maybe MTN app, right? Helm is going to give me the templates for that. And all I have to do is what? Is just to, input a couple of variables here and there, and I'm good, right? I'm good to deploy straight up. So I don't even have to worry about, updating the manifest files, blah, 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 blah. No, Helm what? Helm takes care of that. So Helm is used in production for Kubernetes. Helm gives you what? It gives you an easier approach to, roll out new version of your application, roll back previous versions, it offers all of that. So Helm is a tool that acts as what? As Kubernetes package manager. So let's just do a refresher here. When you hear about package managers, what package managers have we been using so far in this course? What package managers have we been using so far? Because I want people to understand what it's all about. Right? Choco, perfect. Choco for what operating system? Right? Okay. Choco for Windows. Thank you. What else? See that? Because if you don't understand what a package manager is in tech, right, you may not really understand or appreciate what Helm is. So you see that when we wanted to, no, Yum is not for Mac now, Mr. Samuel. Yum cannot go for Mac. Winglet for Windows, Brew. If you want to install anything on Mac, you use what? You use Homebrew. So Brew is the package manager for Mac operating systems. Yum. Yum is the package manager for Red Hat operating systems. Okay? Make sense? Great. Perfect. So now let's look at what is Helm. A very short presentation, then we'll look at some hands-ons there. And so now everything we're going to be doing on Kubernetes moving forward is going to be Helm, 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 and Helm. Okay? Perfect. All right. Let's see. Okay. For what? So Helm is the package manager for Kubernetes. What that means is that it simplifies what? Application deployment. That's it. Right? It what manages upgrade, rollbacks, and versions. Okay. So you're going to see commands like Helm rollback, Helm rollout, Helm versions, Helm history to list all the versions, and what again? Is it Helm install? Yeah. Helm install, you can what? You can install an application with all its components. databases, front end, back end, load balancers, everything all in one go, right? Like that. Make sense? Oh, sorry, I've gone too far. So, of course, what? Why Helm is needed? Raw YAML is hard to manage at scale, right? So, what is raw YAML? Okay, this is what we call YAML. See this here? This is YAML. Now, in our demo, we are able to what? To deploy an application using what? Using just one YAML file like this. But in the real working environment, you need what? You need a large number of files connected with each other. So, for example, service has to speak to their application. Ingress have to speak with service. Database have to speak with application, right? So you have a lot of networking happening in the back end. But so as the application grows, the complexity of that application also grows and becomes very difficult to manage. Therefore, what? Raw YAML is hard to manage at scale. That's why we need Helm. Environment-specific configs are error-prone. Helm introduces what? Reuse and consistency. That's what Helm brings on the table. Okay. And then, of course, what we see what core Helm, okay, concepts. Before we proceed, without much ado, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you the latest engineers. This is what Helm is, okay? Don't mind me. All right, this is Helm. And so we have what? We have our Helm here. See this here? See that it says what? Helm is the best way to find, share, and what? And use software built for Kubernetes. Yes, we can also what? Use software built for Kubernetes. For example, let's say you want to deploy Prometheus and Grafana. You can what? You can use the Helm chart because what? The Helm chart contains what? In fact, Prometheus is a software, but what? Prometheus has a Helm chart. So I can what? Just use that chart and deploy in Kubernetes. That means that I don't need to go ahead and start writing my own manifest file to deploy Prometheus and Grafana. You know if I'm making sense, right? That's what it means. Read. It's there, right? So what is Helm? Helm what? Helps you manage Kubernetes applications. Helm chart helps you what? Define, install, upgrade, even the most what? The most complex Kubernetes applications. So important. Charts are easy to create, version, share, and publish. So what? Start using Helm and what? And stop copy and paste. This is very important. By the way, just like Kubernetes, Helm is what? Helm is a graduated what? Project in the Cloud Native Foundation. So it's maintained by what? It's maintained by CNCF. Okay. And again, what? It's been transferred to CNCF, but at the moment is what is maintained by the Helm community. Very, very important. Okay. So this is what? This is Helm chart. This is where you want to be. You want to what? Come here every now and then when you are working, even when you are still do what? To find out what is trending with Uncle Hem. Is it Uncle Hem or do you think we should call him Uncle Hem or Auntie Hem? If we were to give a gender to Kubernetes, would it be a male or a female? Or those other genders? I hope I'm not offending anybody by talking about gender. Anyway, we are all Africans, we are Christians, so I've asked a very simple question and I'm seeing diverse views here. Let's see. Let's get the answers now. Very, very important. So if Kubernetes was to be, if we were to apply gender to Kubernetes, uh modesty says nope, it's going to be male. Teleform says male, and Ginger says female. Okay. Mm-hmm. Don't ask what I think, right? But of course, what? So this is Ham. At the moment, what? At the moment, we have what? Helm 4 dot zero dot zero. This is so important. And again, let me tell you why this is important, okay? This is now, a real working experience. Um, in your team, right? If a chart was created with Helm versions 3.17, you can't use version 4.00, apply that chart or to install the chart. It's not going to work. So if you ever have to start, when you start working on if, and you see in your documentation, onboarding documentation, it says, okay, please what? Make sure you install Helm versions 1.39. Why? Because all our charts are what are aligned to that version. This is not asking you for your opinion. This is what you have to do. Okay? Please note that down. So this is what Helm what? Helm helps you what manage Kubernetes clusters. I mean what applications. Above all, it what this is what it solves. It solves the complexity in managing application, especially in production. Okay. Yeah. Features very very important. If you can see my screen very well. Manage what? It manages complexities. Okay. Charts what? Describe even the most complex apps. Provide what? Repeatable application installations and serves as what? A single point of authority. Easy upgrade. Take the pain out of what? Updates in place. Okay, in place, right? Instead what? It up and custom hooks. Simple sharing. Of course, what? Just like we share our Maven packages, right? As we saw earlier, we can also what? We can also share our Helm charts. And what platforms are we going to do that from? On, if that's the right English, that's not what I'm teaching. But of course, what? We can share it on Nexus, okay? And most importantly, we have what? Rollbacks. Helm uses what? Use Helm rollback to roll back to an what? Older version of a release with ease. Okay, very, very important. How do you get you can what? You can install with Homebrew. So if you're a Mac user, you just run what? Brew install this. If you are Windows, see that? Choco what? So what was saying that someone said that they have not installed, right? Let me share this with you. Very, very important. We can what? We can install this. So if you look at this now, all right, just run what? Go on your Windows computer. And of course, what? So this command, if you're on Windows, is what? Choco install Kubernetes Helm. And if you are homebrew, check your WhatsApp. You're going to what? See that what? Install what? Brew, install, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Like that. Yes, this is so important. So, okay. So now you see what that's the installation. You can also what join the community. One of the ways to stay, I'm happy to share this now at this level of the course. One of the ways to stay up to date on major technology is what? Is to join the communities, right? You see that here you have what? Kubernetes, this is Helm, right? You can find out what is happening. Are they organizing maybe, you can also what? Follow what? Follow him on Twitter. You're gonna get updates. Connect, right? Weekly what? Weekly join what? Weekly meetings. All right. Very what? Very, very important. I think we can even start a Hem community in Douala and in Lagos. Okay. We can do that. Let's what? Let's follow them. Let's join and all of that, right? So this is Hem for you. But now what? Let's get into some nitty-gritties. Okay. Great. So, Helm core concept. The first one is chart. How do you create chart? Helm create. We're going to see this okay in real time. And then you can see, of course, what we release what the chart deploy chart instance, values, configuration, input, template, parameterize what YAML. Now, so important, the most important file in Helm chart is a file we call the values.yaml file. This is the file that we update the parameters. We're going to see it in just a moment, okay? Helm what? Architecture. Helm 3. Unfortunately, you can just saw on the website, right? We are already on Helm 4. So there's no tiller, improved security model, Helm chart. So we have what? We have values.yaml and the template. Okay, we look at this, don't worry, Helm template, use Go templating, syntax, inject values dynamically, blah, 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 blah. Don't worry about this one, okay? We'll talk about this in just a moment. Let's get going here. So let's get our hands dirty with Helm. And I want to do something that I haven't done before. And I want to see what is happening here. Who is here? What is happening here? Oops, let's go into what? Download here. And if you do ls, this is too heavy. I'm going to open the exact same folder here so that when I create something over there, I can see it here. But it says here, Lion Tech what? Okay, 26. There we go, okay? If we can copy this, let me see here. Into this. Oops, forget it. This is why I don't like Git bash because you cannot do this here. Great, perfect. Got it? Okay. Now, let's what? Let's create Helm. Okay. Make what? Helm what? Helm charts. Okay. Helm charts apps. Very, very important. Do that. And I clear my screen. Now what? Let's sit into what? Into Helm chart apps. And so if you go to VS Code here, we what? We are going to see we have what? See that? I think we should see it here. Now we have what? We should see it. We should see it. Wait 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. I should see it now. Wait 1 second here. There you go. Okay. Manifest. Let's see. See, do we see here? See that? There we go, right? This is Helm chart here. It's supposed to show up on this file. That's what I'm looking out for. Beg my pardon. Okay, now, if you don't see it, why? My son will ask me, why, Daddy? Why? Okay, I know why it's not showing here. See that there? And I know why. It's because we are open this stuff here. It has a main folder. So no problem, that's fine. Yeah. Let's ignore that. No, we cannot ignore it. We have to fix it. Some things can't be ignored, okay? Let's go to open folder. You can open the folder again. Great, okay? There you go. Open the folder again. And what am I doing here? I want to see the Helm charts because I want to show you the files from VS Code because it's so important. That's why I'm doing this. Otherwise, I don't know why it's not showing me. Yeah. Did somebody see it? Because sometimes I don't see, I don't know if I see very well. But it's not there. It's supposed to be there. Close, 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 close. So this is the directory, is there, but I don't know what's happening to me. Somebody saw it. Nobody saw it. Nobody saw it. Did anybody saw it? Oh, it's under variables. Do I trust that? You just said now? Okay, don't worry. It's other variables. Wherever each variables. On the you mean other volumes or what? What is variable here? You didn't see variables, sir. You didn't see variables here. So let's see how you're talking about. Oh, don't mind me. Yeah, yeah, it is right. Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah, it is. Perfect. So now hand chart comments. Okay, there we go. I've seen it now. There it is. And if you want, we can what? We can open up just that. So let's come back here. Let's minimize a bit. Open the folder. Then what? We open just the hem chart. Okay, nothing else. That's it. Now it's going to reload. Perfect. Because I want to show you what it is that a hem chart is. And the commands, of course, are very straightforward. Hem create is going to create for you our very what? First chart. There you go. You can see. Now, clear my screen. Let's what? Let's create a chart. Hem what? This is hem create what? Create. And let's call this app one. Okay? App one. You know what I'm saying? App one. So what? A chart is a directory. See that? Created. Now, this is what I want you to pay attention to. See this here? Now, did we create all of these folders in here and the files? Look at here. Come to chart, right? You see, this is our chart, right? We have what? Templates. Did we create all of these templates? Yes or no? We did not create the templates, isn't it? We did not. In template, we have what? Deployment.yaml. Okay. This is why we call this a templating engine. So Helm is a templating engine for Kubernetes. Very important. Okay. So now we see what? HPA for what? For horizontal port auto scaling. One of these files. Okay. Now I can deploy this application fully production in the Kubernetes environment, right? But so what? We don't touch anything in this file. Know this, okay? Forever. The only thing that we modify when we are deploying application using Helm is what? Is the values of YAML file. And what? When you create that, it gives you this. See that? Long file. And we can see a couple of details here, right? You see that? Blah, 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 blah. See, this says what? So what is the repository here? What do you recognize in this file? We see what we see. We see the repo, right? This is a repository here, right? There's no tag there, and you can see all of it. See that? Now we have what? The service type, right? What are the defaults here? If we don't go with cluster IP, what other options do we have? So of course we have load balancer, right? We have what again? Okay. Is it clear? So how do you create your Helm charts? Let's come back here. Let's do Helm. Okay. And what? Helm and what? And Helm commands. Okay. First of all, we have what? Helm charts. How do you create it? We do what? Helm create what? Create and the chart name. Chart what? Chart name. Okay. Chart name. So then in this case, we can do what? Helm create app what? App one. We also mentioned that they were the most important file. The most important file to configure is what? Is the values dot what? Dot YAML file. Abi, see that? So this is the most important file that we should be focusing on. Make sense? Let's what? Let's just proceed with this one the way it is. Don't touch anything and see what we got. Okay? There you go. So now I have my chart. I have inspected the chart. Now I want to what? Deploy the chart. Okay? And let's deploy this chart in the apps namespace. Okay? So let's do what? kubectl, create what? Create namespace apps. See that? So now we are going to what? We are going to deploy this application the apps namespace. Okay. In the apps namespace. So now we can do what? Helm install. So the way you deploy application using Helm is of course what? We don't use Helm, don't use kubectl apply like we did again. Now what? It's either you are installing or you are uninstalling. So how you deploy is what? The keyword is install. How you what? You undeploy is to uninstall means what? You want to remove everything. And it makes sense because if you do kubectl, right, you create the application, deport everything. You can't delete everything at once. But what? With Helm, uninstall. You can uninstall the application and all its dependencies. So what? Helm install. What are we installing? Okay. Now what? We give the name of the application. In this case, we call it the release. What's our release name? Demo. Okay. Call it what? Demo. Then what? What's the chart name? Chart name is okay. App what? App one. Okay. That was the chart name. Remember when we what? When we created the chart, we call it what? We call the chart okay. App one, isn't it? We call it app one. So what that means is that now you want to install Helm what? Helm is going to go into this chart and what? And consume all the definitions that we have configured in there. Of course, what? Namespace here is going to be, is it? See that? There you go, right? Hit enter. And you can see, but now what? You see that this is going to be different now. Perfect, right? Helm what? It says what? Look at here, it says what? Install complete. What's the status? Deployed. Namespace, apps, revision, one. It says what? We can visit HTTPS, blah, 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 to use your application and all of that. Wonderful stuff here. So now we have deployed, okay? How do you deploy your application in Helm? Deploy in Helm, deploy in Helm, okay? That's one. Two, you want to what? You want to deploy what? The Helm chart. So what do we define? Helm what? Install. The release name is what? Is a name that you choose. Okay? But what? The chart name must exist. Chart what? Chart name. And if you want, you can what? You can pass what? The namespace. So in this case, we can do something like this. Helm what? Helm install demo. Okay? Apps hyphen n apps. Sorry, app one, right? App one. See that? Like that. So now we have deployed this. Now we deployed Helm, right? But now what? We can run kubectl commands to check what has been deployed. You can do what? Keyword. So now you can do keyword kubectl. Get what? Get pods -n apps. See that? Now, was this deployed using kubectl? The answer is no. With Helm installed, that went through. How about this? Keyword ctl get what? Get rs, right? Replica set. So what? Not only did we deploy a pod, we deploy what? The pod, the replica set. See that? There you go. You have what? We have one deployment. One what? Replica set. How about what? We check deployed, right? See that? Okay. Let's calm down. Let's calm down. Are we understanding? Is it clear? Is this making some sense? Is it making some sense? Are you understanding? Not really. Okay, for chance it already. Who else? Okay, thank you. Okay, so therefore what? Your job is going to be to watch the videos, okay? You have to go over the videos over and over again. We will continue with him throughout our remaining journey together. Now, Helm what? Helm is the don't worry, okay? That's the first example. We'll come back to it, okay? Good. Now we can run what? Run Helm what? Helm lists. You want to what? So in this case, you want to list your deployment. See that? There is nothing in the default namespace. Okay? Nothing in the default namespace. And it gives you, oh no, that will not work. See that? Nothing here. So I will take another example again, okay? Don't worry. Do it again. Helm is the Kubernetes package manager, helps us to install what? Deploy complex applications. But what? In order for us to deploy an application using Helm, first, we want to what? Create a chart. So at least that line, do you understand that? So what? We install applications in Kubernetes using Helm what? Helm chart. Okay. And how do we create a Helm chart? Helm what? Okay, let's go back here into wait. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I want to go back to this directory. So this is going to be okay, like that. Into what? CD into language, and then we can run CD what? To this. Okay, there you go. Like that. Oh, sorry. Okay, CD into 2026. Okay, Kubernetes manifest. Okay, manifest. Then we have Helm. There you go, right? Now, Helm is used to deploy applications in Kubernetes through what? Helm charts. How do we create a chart? Helm create. Let's call this what? Let's call this chart MTN. See that? Makes sense. Okay, that is a chart. That chart is what we call a directory, a folder. So if you run LSA, what do we see? See that? Now what? That's our second application. Now, if we cd into MTN, What do we have here? You can see that what? That now we have what? You can see all the templates. Does this justify the definition of what? Helm is Kubernetes package manager for managing and deploying applications. If we want to use what? We can use Helm. Helm. Okay, we can use Helm. All right, we can use Helm. Make sense, everybody? Is it clear? Is it clear? Now, so now you have this Helm. The question now is that how do you now deploy this chart? How do you use this chart to deploy the application? You have to what? You have to modify the values of YAML file. Look at something here, right? First example, what? We just deployed, but normally in a working environment, you must what? You need to VI into what? Into the values of YAML file, and you see all of these values there. See this here? Perfect. So now what? Now you need to what? You need to understand this. In your real working environment, okay, let me ask you a question here. Let's see, what do you think are the variables that can be changed here? If we were to deploy a different application, let me see, just point by the line. What must we change if we're deployed? Maybe let's say, okay, a school management system. What are we going to change here? Because what? They just give me a template what with, with some default examples. But if I was to customize for my own company or for my company I'm working for, what am I going to change? Line one? No. The most important line is what line? To change the application. Check again, think. Thank you so much, right? Line 10. Thank you, Pascal. Those who agree with line 10, type 10. Somebody said replica count. No, it cannot be replica count, right? Because what? We are deploying our containerized application. So just like in your manifest file, the most important variable is what? Is the image that you want to deploy. So when you see line 10, it says repository. Therefore, if I was to change this, I'm going to go to where? To my Docker Hub or to my image registry, right? Let's go to Docker Hub here. And of course, what? We can change that value. Now what? So that's why that Helm offers us customizable templates that we can customize. But the only customizable element there is, okay, file, sorry, is the values.yaml file. That's the file we customize in order to deploy the application, period. Okay, and now of course what? I can use that manifest file, the same what template, I can change it, I can customize for different environments. So see, for example, right, if I come here, Docker Hub, Docker what? Docker Hub plugin. Okay, there you go. All right, you can see that. So looking here now, okay, not this one. Let's come back here. Look at here, makes sense. So now let's say what? Now, of course, what? Okay. Okay. So the count is not the most important parameter. The most what? The most important parameter is line 10. Okay. So as I go down, right, point it again. Line what? Line 10. Let's keep going. Line 10. And then what? Where's something here? Okay, great. Who sees another parameter that is very important here? What other parameter can we be changing here? You are very close, but not yet. Thank you so much for jump, right? 55. Okay. That's the next parameter. Because of course what this gives me a template. But do I really want to deploy this with cluster IP? Or maybe I want node port, or I want what? It's either cluster IP node port or what? Or load balancer. You see that? So when you create your chart, what do? You what? Take your time and store the chart. And then of course, if we change the repository here, then what? We must what? You also have to change 57 because if your application has container port exposed on port 6000, therefore what? Your port is going to be 6000. Okay? Very, very important. When we come to ingress, you understand what this means, what line 66 means, right? Okay. Do you now understand what Helm is? Why we refer to Helm as a templating engine? Is it clear now? Is it clearer? Off week. Engineer off week. Are you understanding now? Right? So now what? It means that what? So it means that in all of these files, right? And what? I am touching nothing in these directories. Okay? The only file I have to touch is what? Is the values of YAML file. Now, did we create any of these files? So let's say what you go to template here. Did we create any of these files? We did not. What happens? Helm created it. And so if I want to deploy any application now, I just what? I just go to the values of YAML file, and that is the file that I'm going to edit. Okay. So Helm, if you were doing a vocabulary or jargons, Helm what? Package manager for Kubernetes, Helm charts, okay, and of course what? Values of YAML file. That's going to be the three most important things I'm going to write down. And of course what? Helm release. How do you create a chart? And how do you what? How do you create a release from that chart? So it's like, so how do you even explain this in a way that makes sense? Yes. Now, so now we have the chart, but now you want to what? Now you want to deploy the application. That app is called a release, period. Okay, that's what we mean. So therefore, what? What command do we use? What? Hem what? Hem release hyphen n what? I think it was app, right? That is a namespace. Hem list. You want to what? See all your releases. See that? See that? Excellent. You see? Now it says what? The name of the release is demo. Namespace is apps. The revision. When was it deployed? See that? This when it was deployed. What is the status? See that? So the chart has been deployed. This is the chart name and the chart version. Very easy, right? Very, very easy. Do you agree? Yes or yes? Do you agree that this Helm is making Kubernetes very easy? Now what? We run one command and we can check all the other objects. Like I run what? kubectl, get what? Get ports, hyphen n what? Apps. And you can see all the ports deployed there. Okay. Now, did we write a manifest file to deploy port? The answer is no. We did not write. How about this? Check what? Check deployment. Okay. Get what? Get deployed. Like this. Did you write a manifest file for deployment? The answer again is a mighty no. We did not, isn't it? Did we or did we not? We didn't, isn't it? Right? We did not. How about RS, right? Replica set. Get deploy, get what? Replica set. So when you see replica count, okay, what's the word that comes to mind? Is it high scalability or high availability? Replica count. Is it scalability or availability? This is how some of your interview questions are going to look like, eh? Simple and straightforward. Okay. No, it's not scalability. Replica count, scalability or availability. Morecambe said availability. Sylvester said availability. It's of course what? It's availability. Because when you say replica is equals to 1, it means that what? You want Kubernetes to maintain one copy of that application at all times. That means that what? That means that we are guaranteed availability. The application is guaranteed to be available at all times up and running. So now, if we were to check this here, see that? Okay, now, okay, perfect. That's released. So let's go to workload. See this here? Now we can see what? We can see app 1 was just deployed in Nginx. But what? We can also just go to apps 1 or apps. You can see the application there. And of course, the service as well. See that? That's a service there. Okay. There's what? There's a storage. Okay, that's fine. Right? But you can see secrets, right? Did we deploy secret? The answer is no. We did not deploy any secret. Therefore, what? Everything was deployed by itself, right? By Kubernetes itself. See that? Config maps, storage class, GP2, right? Persistent volume, we can see all of that. Make sense? So now, you know what? I think we end here for today. We are going to what? We are going to have, I'll take this over again on Friday. Okay, but Helm is so interesting. And the more you practice Helm, the more you understand it. Now let's look at some of the tickets that I saw. My ticket on WhatsApp. I already explained it, right? I already explained it. And this one is very easy. You want to what? You want to go back and check if you see at this stage here of the class must what? You must learn how to troubleshoot. It's not a matter of can anyone help. What is your understanding of this ticket? Can someone interpret what's happening here? So what's happening there? So what would be the steps to troubleshoot that? But they ask you, right? So go to your AWS account and confirm if what? If you have the bucket. Yeah, so you are close, right? Pascal, you are close. It's a matter of communication. He does not have the bucket in his AWS. That's the problem. So what you go in there and what you create the exact bucket, or you check the bucket that you have and go to the back end of TFI, and then what you edit it. Okay, and that should solve the problem. Period. And I think Abiola has what the same. So please, when you clone this repository, okay, hold on 1 second. Let's go back here. Open folder. Okay. When you clone the apps repository, let's come back here. Okay. Then you go to the cluster. You have what? You have a couple of parameters to fix. See this here? So this bucket doesn't exist in your AWS account. See this bucket here? This bucket name. So if you go to your AWS account, go what? Go there and check. Okay. Go to S3 here. Go what? So what? Go there what? Go there and check if you have a bucket called this. So what? This is how you troubleshoot. Check if you have a bucket called 2026 date. That's all you have to check. Line what? Line 6. Check for this bucket. If it doesn't, it's what you do. It's very easy. Just what? Just create a bucket, right? Then you come back and again, what you run? What you run your Terraform init, and again, what the bucket must be available in CA Central 1. So if your region is US is one. Again, what? You change to US is one. Please, at this point of the course, I don't want you guys to be folding my hands. You want to what? I want to see you interpret the error message. And you even have help. You can what? Copy that message, just post it. See, open what? Open your Copilot there. And what? You paste that error in here. This agent is going to tell you what exactly the issue is. Hmm? Except that you are not ready to chop DevOps money just yet. If you are, if you want to be able what you have to what you have to release your brain. In fact, pray, ask God to release you from fear, right? You want to what you want to troubleshoot. You want to find out what the issues are, right? So when you see error messages, it's a matter of, oh, I'm blocked here. Is that what is that what you're gonna say at work? Right? No, you won't. You troubleshoot, you diagnose. Okay, you can add this one. So now, if this was in a working environment, you can what? And you don't have access to AWS S3, you can what? Oh, you can ask them to create a bucket, right? You can say, hey, okay, you know what? I'm facing this issue. It looks like this bucket doesn't exist. But again, what? You can run AWS CLI commands to confirm if the bucket exists. What's the command like? Look at something here. Come back here. Can do what? A what? AWS S3 what? S3 list. See that? You want to what? I want to list all the buckets that are found in my account. So what? So even if you see that error message, what? You don't just go ahead and say, "Oh, I cannot see the bucket." No, you confirm it. So even if you don't have console access, therefore what? Run what? Perfect. Run what? Run this Mr. Moko and what? And confirm if you have this bucket. I can guarantee that you don't have it. That's why you are getting what? That 403 error. Is it clear? You know what? This goes for everybody, not just those tickets that have been posted. Okay? Yeah. Simple. If you don't have it, then what? You have to create it, period. And I think I also left a message there. And I'm not in the habit of repeating myself actually. You can see that I responded here somehow. Okay, I said, okay, let's look at this in class. But again, I came back and I said, okay, it looks like the bucket is not available. It could have been a different, yeah. But of course, what? The same thing. So what all of you are going to have this message if you don't change your buckets. Okay? I did. I think I did somehow. I just can't find it. But I said the bucket was the issue. You want to what? You want to, I don't know. Oh, this is that. Oh no, this one. I think I did the link to join us. Yeah, I see that. Confirm what? Confirm if the bucket exists in your S3. It looks like the bucket in your S3 in the back end is not available. That's it. That's what I said, right? This is why it gives you a 403 error. So there was already a solution like, did you check? You did not check, right? But of course, what? I think I'm happy because now what? I've showed you how to just check it from what? From the command line. So you do not even have to go to your AWS account to go and be okay. You can what? You can confirm these things programmatically, advanced levels, right? This is now advanced level, advanced. Okay, because what? Now you're going to go in for jobs for 120,000. Oh yeah, somebody reached out to me on Friday and he was telling me about a position in Toronto. Let me see. Pascal, there's a job that I'm going to refer you to. You're in Toronto, right? Do you like to work in office? Because I don't like this job, but I don't like this one. I don't like to do this one. It's in Toronto. Yeah. See that? Salary confirmation. Oh, you are in Surrey. Is anybody in Toronto? See that? Look at here. 125. See that? And what are the skills they're looking out for? They're looking for, okay, see here. See that? Strong what? Familiarity with AWS, CSD pipelines. See that? Terraform what? Kubernetes. Okay. In my next batch, this is going to be my focus. Like I'm going to focus more on Docker, Jenkins, Kubernetes, monitoring, and all of that. So I'm going to rush those, Linux, blah blah blah, because that's where DevOps is and the security. Blah, blah. The next batch starts February 07, right? And yeah, so if you have friends, family, and relatives, you know, don't leave them out, bring them in, let them get skills, right? You never know where they are going to, get their help. And one thing that we are doing also this year is that we are expanding in the UAE, and the UAE market is more of labor supply, tech labor supply in the UAE. And yeah, we want to be able to, because UAE, I discovered it's very easy for Africans to go to the UAE, but they go there for the wrong reason and for the wrong type of jobs. So we are opening the market for UAE this year by God's grace. I was taking a shower and the Lord told me UAE, and I'm taking it very serious. And yeah, so we are going to be establishing a UAE this year by God's grace, if the Lord permit. And that means that we can issue visas to people to go and come and work for us in the UAE. We can go for contracts and all of that. A lot of advantages for the UAE area and all of that. So yeah, we're looking at all of those advantages, especially for our people who are still in Africa, right? What is UAE? UAE. Let them have Emirates, Dubai, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia. It's not UAE. UAE. Abi? Look at that. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. And yeah, because see, I saw a job in the UAE that you guys can do. There's a job, DevOps that is paying like, it's paying $70,000 a year. Those jobs in Dubai, believe me, what they first of all, you pay very less tax. They protect you. They give you a house, give you a car. They give you a lot of things. And of course, what visa Cameroon Dubai is very easy, Abi. Very easy. It's one day. You don't get a visa, you don't go. So I'm looking at how you guys can get in those kind of places and get jobs there because those are what those are the tech market, Middle East. You can easily travel there than to travel to Canada. Okay, you can be guaranteed 100% visa for the UAE as compared to what 100% visa in Canada. It's not possible, right? Or it's difficult. It's possible, but it's difficult like that. So very good. Okay, so what? Our job search for those of you in Africa is going to focus more in the Middle East. Nigeria would have been a good place, but they are too, the way they pay their workers is making me so angry. I don't know why. I can you pay a DevOps engineer 250,000 naira a month. I've suffered. You get what I'm saying? That no. That's how much 250,000 naira? That's like 250 US dollars. That's an insult, right? No. So we don't want that. Okay. We are going to create you guys real-time opportunities in markets, okay, in regions that can value your skills. Believe me, I think that what you gathered here is too, is above that. You should be going for at least $50,000 a year if you say you have not done anything, okay? And that's the goal, that's the picture, That's what we want to do, and we are going to get it. Okay? So all of you in Africa, get what? Put your mind towards the UAE because you can easily get a job in the UAE, and you can easily have a visit to the UAE as well. Okay? Like that. It's very easy and it is doable. Yes. Thank you so much. And we are also planning to have a conference in the UAE this year, if the Lord permits. Yes, a lot of things in the plan. So this month we're going to what? We are going to study Argo CD. Okay, this one we are going to study this. And so I went and look at this job description. I discovered that but you guys did this with you guys did Okta with Bunda, right? You guys did Okta in that class, right? So this is good. See that? So everything that you are studying here has its place. Don't take it for granted. Oh, I'm just telling you people, don't take it for granted. You have to do everything to practice because that's how you learn. Uh-huh. You be, you hear or you know hear. First we hear that they do cho. Like first don't know here they do cho. Anyways, God bless you all. Have yourself a wonderful night and yeah.